You know that feeling when you walk into like a well-designed hotel lobby or maybe a cafe and the vibe just works?
Yeah, totally. It just feels right.
Right. And a huge part of that is actually the music. It's never intrusive or too thin. It's just sort of perfectly layered into the room.
Exactly. I mean, it's an engineered ambiance. We experience it as totally organic, but the mechanics behind that vibe are, well, they're meticulously calculated down to the millimeter.
Which is exactly what we're looking at today. For this deep dive, our mission is to decode a highly specific piece of commercial tech. We've got a spec sheet from HDTVSupply for the QSC AD-P-SAT.
Oh, the those little pendant loudspeaker?
Yeah, the ones you see dangling from really high ceilings.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start by asking, why do spaces even need suspended hanging pendants? Like, why not just stuff standard speakers up into the ceiling tiles or, I don't know, hide them in the walls?
Well, it really comes down to control and architecture. In modern commercial spaces, ceilings are often way too high, or they just have completely exposed ductwork.
Oh, right, that industrial chic look.
Exactly. So by hanging a pendant, you bring the sound source physically closer to you. That primary design application ensures the audio actually maintains this refined depth and clarity.
Even when it's turned down low.
Right, exactly, even when the volume is turned way down for just background music.
So you're basically putting the sound exactly where the listener is. And looking at these QSC specs, they are leaning really hard into physical versatility. They ship with these quick link cables and slip lock fasteners to speed up the installation.
Which installers definitely appreciate.
Oh, I bet. And they're also completely mix and match capable with any subwoofer in the AD series. It's basically like building a modular Lego set for sound.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
But wait, treating audio gear like Legos like? Mixing different satellites and subwoofers all across a large room? Usually that risks creating a really messy, incoherent soundscape. You'd think swapping pieces would just ruin the audio cohesion.
You would think so, yeah, but that's actually the exact problem the Acoustic Design series was built to solve.
Oh, really?
Yeah, QSC engineered the entire line to maintain consistent tonal characteristics. So whether the installer is using a pendant, a flush mount ceiling speaker, or, a wall mount, the audio signature stays completely cohesive.
Okay, so they solved the acoustic matching issue. But, I mean, that still doesn't explain how they get massive sound out of such a tiny footprint.
They are surprisingly small.
Yeah, looking at the hardware specs, we are talking about a 2.75-inch paper cone woofer, and the whole thing weighs just 0.9 pounds.
Less than a pound.
Right, and hitting a maximum peak of 103 decibels from something that small. I mean, that's pushing the limits of physics. Usually, a box that small just sounds incredibly pinny. How is QSC avoiding that?
It's a really brilliant mix of physical and digital engineering. Physically, these speakers have an ultra-wide 155-degree conical coverage.
Ah, okay, so instead of blasting a narrow beam of sound that creates like an annoying loud hotspot right below it, that spread...
Exactly. That 155-degree dispersion spreads the acoustic energy widely and evenly across the room.
That makes sense. And they pair that physical spread with an IP34 rating, which means it's highly dust and water resistant.
Which is completely essential for restaurant environments, right? But the real magic preventing that thin, tinny sound happens on the digital side.
The DSP.
Right. They use what QSC calls intrinsic correction voicings on their QSYS platforms, like those CXDQ series amplifiers.
Okay, so intrinsic correction is basically their proprietary digital signal processing.
Yeah, a tiny 2.75-inch cone naturally wants to sound shrill at high volumes. But intrinsic correction acts like a digital fingerprint.
Wait, how does that work?
The amplifier knows exactly what physical flaws this specific speaker model has, and it preemptively feeds it an inverted audio signal.
No way, so it cancels them out.
Perfectly cancels out those acoustic flaws before they even hit the air. Oh, and you asked about the 16 ohm impedance earlier.
Yeah, because in a home stereo, 16 ohms is unusually high.
Right, but for a coffee shop or a massive retail floor, it's a lifesaver. It allows installers to daisy-chain dozens of these speakers together on a single amplifier channel without, blowing it up or starting a fire. It's purely about commercial scalability.
That is wild. So what does this all mean for you listening at home? Well, the next time you're sitting in a bustling commercial space, enjoying perfectly clear but completely unobtrusive music, you'll know you aren't just listening to a speaker in a box.
You're experiencing an intricate marriage of physical and digital engineering.
Exactly. Ultra-wide dispersion and preemptive digital corrections working tirelessly behind the scenes.
Which leaves you with an interesting final thought to mull over, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah, look at the speaker's sealed enclosure, the environmental resistance, its powder-coated grills, and even the fact that the logo is completely removable.
right. They let you hide the brand.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, is the ultimate pinnacle of commercial audio engineering simply to become entirely invisible to the people experiencing it?